Hello, storytellers. I want to welcome you to the blog for the Center for Digital Storytelling. My name is Truman, and today I'm going to be talking with you about a portable microphone that can be used with your iPad, your iPhone, your MacBook, or any other Apple computer that you might have. It's called, quite simply, MiC, and it's made by a company called Apogee. They're really well known in professional recording circles for making well-built, really durable equipment that just sounds fantastic. And the MiC certainly fits those criteria. You've probably heard that the best camera is the one that you have with you. And the same can be said for your smartphone. Even though maybe it's not the greatest camera, it still takes better pictures than that expensive DSLR that you left at home in your camera bag. Well, the same can be said for microphones, too. Your iPhone and iPad will always capture better audio than the portable audio recorder that you don't have with you. Now that smartphones are so popular, most people almost always have some sort of camera with them. And as a result, photos and videos have begun to take on a different role in our lives. We document more, we capture more, we pay more attention to the way we take pictures and the stories we tell. I'd like to be able to say the same for audio recording, but the pace of improvements in mobile phone cameras have far outpaced the improvements in their microphones. So while most of us can remember at least one or two times where we were lucky enough to have our phones with us at just the right moment to capture that picture, it's much less common to have had a nice microphone handy when we really could have used it. Now, I'll admit, there are some great mobile audio recording tools for just about any budget. For instance, I myself am a big fan of the Sony PCM-M10 and the Zoom H6, among others. While each of them has its limitations, the most common drawback is that there's almost no way to edit or share the music on those machines, and so you have to take the card out of the machines, get it onto a computer that has internet access, and then you can go from there. Now, the iPhone and the iPad, if not for the low-quality onboard microphones, would be perfect devices to combine both recording and editing and sharing functions. Unfortunately, at the moment, that's not really the case. So, enter the Apogee MiC. Its compact housing and rock-solid build quality make it easy to have a high-quality microphone with you almost all the time. You can be ready to record, edit, and share your audio regardless of wherever your digital stories take you. I want to get started by showing you how to get your mic connected and set up to do a recording with GarageBand on your iPad. All right, let's start by getting the mic connected to my third-generation iPad so we can record some test tracks. Now, first, I got to plug one end of the included cable into the base of the mic. Now, you'll notice it's not a common type of connection. That's because for this microphone and a few of its other devices, Apogee has developed a high-quality digital audio signal that it calls pure digital. Now, I'll explain more about this later, but basically, the mic is able to produce a 24-bit 96 kilohertz signal, which sounds fantastic. The other end of the cable is an Apple 30-pin connector, which I'll plug into my iPad. I should note here that Apogee also includes a pair of similar cables, but one with a Lightning connector so that it's compatible with the next generation of iOS devices, and the other with a USB connection so that it can be plugged into your MacBook or iMac or other Apple computer. You'll notice here on the front of the microphone a small LED indicator, It's one of the features that distinguishes the mic from other USB microphones. You'll see that the light shows blue, which means that it's connected to the iPad, but there's no audio software open yet. So now when I open GarageBand, the light, and I arm the microphone, the light will glow green, which indicates that it's now communicating with the audio software. Now when it's a little bit dim, that means the signal's too low, and when it's bright green, that means it's a good usable signal. Now, this brings me to the gain dial on the side of the mic. Now I can move this dial towards the plus sign, and let's see if you can still see that indicator light. As I increase the sensitivity, the LED eventually shines bright green. As I continue to increase the sensitivity, the light grows orange, which means that my audio levels are getting close to clipping. Now, when the LED shows red, I know that I'm now clipping and my audio is distorted. So I want to dial this back until the indicator glows green with the occasional orange flicker. Now that the microphone is connected, I'm going to record a track, a test track using GarageBand. So first I'm going to turn the iPad on, and then I'm going to go into my settings and make sure that I am in airplane mode. Now the reason I want to do that is so I can avoid any interference from the Wi-Fi antenna, and so that I don't get any calls or something else that might make noise while I'm doing the recording. I'll get out of there. I'm going to plug in my headphones into the headphone jack. Now, get that out of the way. Now I'm going to go into GarageBand. I'm going to create a new song. And I'm going to pick the audio recorder for my instrument since I'll be recording my voice. Now once I'm in GarageBand, there's a couple things that I'm going to want to do. First, I want to go to this little wrench over here, and I want to turn the metronome off, and I don't want to be counted in, so I'm going to take those off. And then I'm going to make sure that I can monitor the headphones, hear what I'm saying. So I'll click this button right here. I'll turn monitoring on, and now I'm getting sound coming through the headphones that I put on. So I'll click off of that, and now you can see that when I talk, this little monitor goes back and forth. So now when I want to record, I can just hit this red record button. And now I'm recording, and you can see not only do the levels go here, but they're also being read up here. And now when I hit stop, the recording stops. Now if I just go back to the beginning and press play, I can actually hear what I just recorded playing back to me. And that is how you go about using the mic with GarageBand to record a track. One concern that digital storytellers or audio producers might have about the Apogee MiC is that it uses a condenser element to pick up sound, which means that it's a condenser microphone. However, it's commonly accepted that the best types of microphones for voiceover work or broadcasting or digital storytelling situations are dynamic mics, such as the Audio-Technica ATR 2100, which is not very expensive and I'm a big fan of, or a step up from that, which might be the Rode Procaster mic, which I'm actually using for this review. And because they're less sensitive than condenser microphones, they pick up a lot less of the ambient noise, which is inevitable in almost all non-studio environments. However, the mic, which again is a sensitive condenser type of microphone, is designed with a cardioid capsule, which is great because a cardioid type of condenser capsule picks up noise from in front of the microphone, but rejects noise or tends to reject the noise from the sides and in back. Now this really helps to reduce unwanted ambient noises. That audio signal is then boosted by Apogee's high-quality preamps before getting processed by the company's pure digital audio converters. The result is a really strong, clean sound with relatively little noise. And the high-definition 24-bit by 96 kilohertz recording signal holds up really, really well for editing and production. Now, the mic itself feels really solid in the hand. The body, protecting the onboard preamp and analog to digital converters, is all metal, and the steel mesh enclosure up here protects the cardioid condenser capsule, which is really important. Now, together, they should put to rest any doubts about the mic's durability. As far as accessories go, Apogee includes a small, but really actually pretty sturdy tripod, as well as this adapter for a standard mic stand. It's also got an adapter if you for various sizes of mic stand connections. And if you'd like a protective carrying case or maybe some longer cables, Apogee offers a Pro Kit, which is especially designed for a really safe and snug fit for your little mic. Additionally, if you tend to get close to the mic when recording, you might want to invest in a pop filter to protect against the plosive sounds of P's and B's spiking your recording. There are just a few other things that I wanted to mention about the Apogee mic. First, as we already explained, it works really well with GarageBand, but it also works really well with any core audio app. Basically, that's the audio system that is used by iOS and Mac operating systems, which means that you'll likely be able to use it with whatever editing software that you happen to prefer on one of these operating systems. Second, and this is one of my favorite things, it's powered through the data cable. So there's no need for external power or batteries that you got to carry with you and you got to keep track of. You got to figure out how much power is left on them. This is a huge plus, as most condenser microphones require either batteries or phantom power. So this is one thing that Apogee incorporated that you're not going to get with other mics like this one. And as with any piece of recording equipment, it's going to have its share of limitations specific to this device. So the first one I wanted to mention is that, and this is really important for some of you folks, it's really designed for recording one person at a time. It's really not all that functional in an interview setting where you want to be able to hear both the interviewer and the subject of the interview. It might work okay in that case if you really don't need to hear the interviewer's questions, or you're working with a subject who is really good at incorporating the questions back into their answer. Now, if you need to record two people, you might consider something like the Focusrite 2i2, which has inputs for two XLR microphones and is compatible with the iPad. The drawback there is that you're not using Apogee's preamps. You're not getting a lot of the technology that you get in this microphone, and the Focusrite 2i2 needs to be plugged in. The other possible limitation is its price. The Apogee mic is $229 retail. You can get it for less than that on eBay. The price might come down sometime soon. But at that price, I will say that I think it's an excellent value, given the solid build quality, the portability, and it's just gorgeous sound. It's I think it's a really good buy at $229. Now, the final limitation that I want to mention is that, and this might be a bigger deal breaker for more people than anything else, and that is that it's not Windows compatible. Doesn't work on Windows 8, Windows 7, none of those things, which means that you're going to have to use it with, you'll be limited to using it only with your iPhone or your iPad, your MacBook Pro, your iMac or Mac Mini or something else in that family. And now I want to talk to you for a minute about some possible alternatives. If you like a lot of the characteristics and features of this, but maybe you don't like the price or the Mac-only compatibility or something like that, there are some alternatives that I want to mention. The first is from Blue Microphones, and that's called the Blue Yeti. Now, they do have a Blue Yeti Pro, but really what I'm talking about is not the Pro. It's just the straight Blue Yeti. Now, this microphone is only USB, so you'll need the camera adapter kit for your iPhone or your iPad. It's also heavier, but it does come with a shock mount, and so it's got some trade-offs there, but it does make it a little bit less mobile. It's also a little bit less expensive, and maybe more importantly, it's compatible with both Mac and Windows machines. Another alternative that you might consider is also from Blue Microphones. It's called the Spark Digital. Now, it has both USB and iPad compatibility, and it also offers a studio caliber, really good quality condenser for both voice and acoustic instruments. You'll find sort of really nice gain control that you can turn up and down, just like you could on the Apogee MiC. It runs about $199, but it also includes a desk stand, like the Blue Yeti, with a shock mount, and comes with all the cables that you're going to need. So, all in all, the mic from Apogee sounds absolutely amazing. Might be a little bit more than you want to spend, but I do think if you're willing to spend it, you'll absolutely get your money's worth. And it's something that I love and that I am planning on adding to my own regular travel bag as soon as I can.
All that you do with me is lost anytime.